guys, it's Katie. Welcome back to my channel and to part 2 of this mini series where I have been reviewing and creating looks using the Morphe / James Charles palette. So in part 1 to this series, which was last week's video, I reviewed and created looks focusing on the bottom 2 rows of the palette. So in this week's video, we'll be playing with the top 3 rows, and I've been trying them throughout the week so that I can really give you my thoughts and opinion on them. So when I look at the top 3 rows, I'm automatically drawn to these 3 shades. I'm already thinking about like the flamey, fiery double cut crease that I could create with those shades. But then I'm like, no, Katie, because today we're going to be creating more wearable looks. So focusing on the warm browns, the golds. The first look that I want to create is going to be your everyday, super quick and easy look. And the second look is going to be more of your smoky evening glam look. And of course, we'll be using the brushes from the collection. I really went in depth and talked about these brushes in last week's video. You know, I use them on my eyes and face and let you know my opinion at the end of the video. So if you'd like to see that, I'll go ahead and leave that link down below because I won't be going as in depth in this video because I already did it last week. Just quickly before we get started, I just wanted to thank everyone who entered my giveaway that I hosted with Benefit Cosmetics Australia. The winners have been contacted, but don't worry if you didn't win because we are going to be giving away another 2 Give Me Some Sugar kits to another 2 lucky winners. So in case you missed last week's video, this kit is valued at $195, and inside there are some Benefit must-haves. So we have the Hoola Bronzer, the Professional Primer, Roll Lash Mascara, and the High Beam Liquid Highlighter. And if you wanted to see me use all of these products, then you can go ahead and check out last week's video. And to enter to win all of these goodies, it's really quick and easy. Just head over to my Instagram, which will be linked down below. Head to my latest post, and all the information will be there. Again, it's super quick and easy. You know, just like the post, leave a comment, and you're good to go. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started with this tutorial and review. So just like in last week's video, we're going to prep for the eyeshadow by using an eyeshadow base, as that is what is recommended. So I'm going to take the P. Louise base in the shade 0 on the M224 brush, and I'm just tapping a generous amount of this product onto my lid. I'm picking up the shade Code James on the M456 brush, and I'm going to be using packing motions. And as this is a more everyday look, we're focusing this darker shade just on the outer corner and then using tapping motions to gradually blend the shade into my crease. Using a clean version of the same brush, I've picked up the shade 518, and I'm going to be applying this just above the previous shade, and again using tapping motions to gradually blend this into my crease and towards my inner corner. And I haven't applied this shade to its maximum pigmentation in my inner corner, as we're going to be creating a really soft, undefined half-cut crease today. I picked up the shade Tune on the M433 brush, and I'm going to be using packing and blending motions so that we get maximum pigmentation while we get a gorgeous blown out look. And for this shade, I will be applying it to its maximum pigmentation in my inner corner. So now that we have the base of the shadows on, we want to go in with the M506 brush to blend everything out and create a seamless look. I'm taking the M166 brush, and I'm just going to spritz it with some setting spray to get it slightly damp, and then I'm going to go in with the shade So Good, and I'm applying this to my inner corner, and I'm taking this on a large flat brush because we aren't going to be too precise with this application. And then going back in with more of the shade Tune to blend it all out. So a way to make it look like you've been more careful and spent more time on a look than you actually have is to go in with some makeup remover on a cotton tip and clean up the edge of your shadow to create a nice sharp line. This look is so quick and easy that we're already moving on to mascara. So I'm going to coat my lashes with the Benefit Roller Lash. And for this daytime look, we aren't going to be applying falsies, we're going to be embracing our natural lashes. How quick and easy was that eye look, and I am loving how it's turned out. So I'm going to go ahead and finish off my face. As I mentioned earlier, I used the brushes on my face in last week's video, as well as some shades from the palette as blush and highlight. So again, I'll go ahead and leave that video linked down below. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do my face, and then I'll be back to finish off the eyes. So for the lower lashes, I'm dipping back into the shade Code James on the M152 brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and run this under my waterline. And this is the only color we're going to use for the lower lash line because again, we want to keep this look really quick and easy. I am going to go ahead and line my waterline with the Sigma Inner Rim Brightener Eye Pencil. And this is going to make our eyes not only look bigger, but nice and wide and awake. And adding mascara to my lower lashes. And to finish off the eyes, I'm taking the shade Face on the M431 brush, and I'm highlighting my inner corner. And finally, to finish off this everyday soft glam look, I'm taking the Australis Girl Boss Lip Cream in the shade Empower. I think a nude glossy lip is perfect with this look. And this is look number 1 complete. I don't often do soft glam looks, but I think this look is so pretty, and although it's simple, it definitely makes a statement. Let's move on to look number 2, so that's Smoky Evening Glam, and I have been dying to use the shade Halloween, this like gorgeous orangey copper, so I will definitely be popping that on my lid today. Going back in with that P. Louise base, again with that M224 brush, I'm just applying this to my lid to prep for the shadows. So we're going to start off with the shade Benny on the M456 brush, and again I'm going to be using packing motions to get maximum pigmentation from the shadow. And we're going to be creating a halo eye look today. So I'm going to be applying this shadow in a half circle all the way from my outer to inner corner, and we're applying this quite low as we are going to be going in with quite a few other shades, and we want enough room to be able to blend them. So I haven't picked up any more shadow, but I'm just going to continue with this same brush, and I'm going to be using tapping motions to diffuse the edges of this shade, and this is going to help with the blending process when we apply the next shade. So picking up the shade No Beans on another M456 brush, I'm going to be packing this on the edge of the previous shade and just repeating the exact same process. And again, doing those exact same steps with the shade 10% Off. And I know that repeating the same process can get a little bit tedious, but this is really going to ensure that your look is blended, seamless, and has a gorgeous gradient of color. So finally, going in with the last shade that's going to tie everything together, so the shade Code James on the M433 brush, and I'm going to be using packing and blending motions to create a really seamless, blown out, smoky look. So through the blending process, we've lost a few shades, so I'm going to pick up the M506 brush and use that to re-intensify the look. So you could totally add some more shadow to the lid and leave this as like a matte, warm brown, smoky eye. But as I mentioned, I am going to be creating a halo eye look. So I'm going to go in with some concealer on that same M224 brush and start to carve out this halo eye. And as always with a halo eye look, because I do have hooded eyes, I'm going to cut the crease above my natural crease. And I'm going to remove all of the shadow on my lid under where we've cut the crease, so that we have a clean canvas when we apply that gorgeous copper shade. So before I focus on the lid, I want to define the cut crease edge. So I'm going to take the M158 brush, this is the brow brush from the collection, and I'm going to dip between the shades Benny and No Beans. And dipping between the same 2 shades on the M506 brush, I'm going to apply this in my inner and outer corner to really deepen and intensify the look. Before going in and applying shadow, of course, we want to prep the lids, so again going in with that P. Louise base. And this is the opportunity to really sharpen up the edges of the cut crease so that your halo eye looks super clean and precise. So I'm grabbing this large flat brush, the M166, and dipping into more of the shade No Beans, and I'm going to pack this shade on my inner and outer corner on the very edge of that base. And this shade is going to kind of act as a transition between that darker shadow and the base. And with the M224 brush, I'm just blending out that harsh line. And with the same brush, I'm picking up the shade 10% and repeating those exact same steps, working my way towards the center of my lid. Time to go in with that shade Halloween. So I'm going to pick up the M124 brush and I want to get it slightly damp, so I'm just going to use some setting spray. I'm picking up that shade Halloween and applying it to the very center of my lid. And on the same brush, going back in with more of the shade Code James to blend between that shimmer and the matte browns. And just continuing to go back in and blend everything out until I'm happy with it. I'm going to go ahead and coat my lashes using the Benefit Roller Lash Mascara. And for some falsies, lately I have been loving the Tati Lashes in TL7. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish off that lower lash line. So I'm going to pick up more of the shade Beans on that angle brush, and I'm going to apply this as close to my waterline as possible. We want this lash line to be super smoky. Then picking up the shade 10% off on this cute little M152 brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and smudge that on my lash line. And finally, with that same brush, using the shade Code James. And as you can see, I'm not being too precise in the application. I just want the look to be super smoky and blown out. Taking the Marc Jacobs eyeliner in the shade Earthquake, I'm going to go ahead and run this on my waterline. This is a nice, like, chocolatey, warm brown shade. And adding some lower lash mascara. I've picked up some of the shade Face on the M431 brush, so I'm just going to go ahead and pop that in my inner corner. So to finish off this smoky evening glam look, we need to go in with a bold brown lip. So I'm going to take the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Velour Liquid Lipstick in the shade Dominatrix. And that completes look number 2. And oh my goodness, I am obsessed with how this turned out. Oh, we are back to a fresh face. As much as I love to apply makeup, there is no better feeling than taking it all off. At the end of last week's video, I told you my current thoughts on the palette and also how I didn't think that it was for a beginner due to the techniques that some of the shades require. So if you wanted to hear more about my opinions on that, then you can go ahead and again, click the link below to head over to last week's video, which is part 1 to this series. In regards to the top 3 rows, I think that the palette is very consistent. The shades that I used today were just as pigmented and blendable as the shades that I used last week. Again, there was no fallout or kickback in the pan. So I am so impressed by this palette, and I think that I would go as far to say as this is my new favorite palette. I would definitely recommend it, as well as the brush set. So that brings us to the end of the video and concludes this mini series. I really hope that you enjoyed the videos and you loved the looks that I created. Be sure to let me know in the comments if there are any other looks you would like to see me create using the palette, and if you have any video requests in general. But yeah, that's about it. So hopefully I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.